clash of lyrics and punchlines. A battle unleashes chaos. In the heart of the bustling city, where neon lights shimmered and the energy crackled, the stage was set for a legendary battle of words. Two titans of the battle rap scene were about to collide. The lyrical wordsmith known as Chalkman Ron and the punchline king, Chalkman. The anticipation was palpable, and the frenetic host, known only as Energizer, couldn't wait to ignite the stage with their fiery exchange. The venue pulsed with energy, a sea of faces hungry for the verbal warfare that was about to unfold. The crowd was divided, with loyal fans of both Chalkman Ron and Chalkman, eagerly awaiting their idol's lyrical prowess. Energizer, the charismatic and vivacious host, commanded the stage with a magnetic presence. Their wild energy bridged the gap between the audience and the battlers, setting the atmosphere ablaze. As the two rappers stood face to face, tensions mounted. Energizer, a master at stirring the crowd, flipped a coin to decide who would spit first. It landed on tails, and Chalkman was granted the first salvo. He grinned, the embodiment of raw confidence, and with the first punchline he delivered, the crowd erupted in a chorus of cheers. Chalkman's on the scene, ready to ignite. My punchlines hit hard, like a knockout in the night. I'm here to steal the show, leave my mark and reign. Chalkman Ron, get ready, cause you're facing the pain, steel sparking. Leave your body somewhere rotten. It's going to be really awful. It's going to be a tragedy in there. I'm talking maggots in his ear like a drill sergeant. His words hit with the impact of sledgehammers, each line a haymaker that resonated in the air. The crowd's response was deafening, a wave of energy that fed Chalkman's fire. He continued, "Your verses might be complex, but they lack the fire. I'm the knockout king, raising the bar even higher. You talk about struggle, pain, and strife, but tonight, Chalkman Ron, you're facing a different life. I'm getting money, I live life like a kingpin. Ever since I was a youngin', I was off the chain, I dunno where Diddlink went." Chalkman Ron, cool and composed, took the stage next. His verses flowed like a lyrical river, intricate wordplay and metaphors painting vivid pictures in the minds of the listeners. The audience hung on to his every word, caught in a mesmerizing web of imagery and emotion. The cheers and applause cascaded from the crowd as his bars resonated deeply. Chalkman Ron's in the building, lyrics sharp as blades. I navigate these rhymes like a maze, never fade. My palette's rich, colors vivid and true. I paint stories with words. And tonight, Chalkman, I'm painting you. The battle raged on, the atmosphere electric as the verbal warfare escalated. Punchlines collided with poetic verses, the battlefield a canvas of words and emotions. The crowd's reactions were a symphony of elation and shock, each line drawing a visceral response from those gathered. But then, in the heat of the moment, Chalkman crossed a line. His words struck a nerve, a line so provocative that it sparked anger in Chalkman Ron's eyes. The lyrics hung in the air like a foul stench, tainting the otherwise electric atmosphere. A hushed silence fell over the crowd as the weight of Chalkman's words settled in. Your family, your pain. I'll use them as my ammo. I'll dig up your past, expose your sorrow and woe. Chalkman Ron, you ain't nothing but a broken man. Watch as I demolish everything you thought you'd stand. I showed up every time for shit. Sponsorships took niggas spots and shit. Hit every coast and touched different continents, but accomplishments I ain't got time to list. Time froze for a moment, the tension palpable. The words hung like a dark cloud over the stage, a threat that could not be ignored. Anguish twisted Chalkman Ron's expression, and his composure wavered. In an instant, the room erupted in chaos. Chalkman Ron's crew surged forward, anger and rage in their eyes. Fists clenched, shouts filled the air, and chaos reigned. The security team struggled to regain control, pushing through the mayhem to separate the battling factions. The once electric atmosphere had transformed into a chaotic battleground, a physical manifestation of the verbal warfare that had ignited it. The venue echoed with shouts, the sound of shoving bodies, and the shattering of glass. In the midst of the turmoil, a piercing scream cut through the air, a mother's anguish, raw and desperate. The words had struck an irreparable chord, a wound that ran too deep. The brawl intensified, emotions escalating into a frenzy. The battle had transcended words, morphing into a physical confrontation fueled by raw anger and a history of pain. Amid the chaos, Energizer, the host, attempted to restore order, but their efforts were in vain. And then, a single gunshot echoed, a stray bullet finding an unintended target. Panic rippled through the crowd as chaos took on a new life-threatening dimension. The events that followed were a blur of sirens, flashing lights, and the sounds of emergency responders flooding the scene. The once thriving venue was now a scene of devastation and shattered dreams. The incident spread like wildfire across social media, amplifying the shock and horror that had unfolded. As news of the tragedy spread, the battle between Chalkman Ron and Champ Pain became a footnote, overshadowed by the grim reality of what had transpired. The clash of lyrics and punchlines had given way to a collision of pain and rage, leaving a trail of destruction that no verse could ever heal. In the aftermath, the scars would run deep, a stark reminder of the volatile, the power that words held, both on and off the stage. The legacy of that fateful night would serve as a haunting lesson in the unpredictability of human interactions and the incendiary potential of language in the world of battle rap. Chalkman would continue to battle at the top of the battle rap food chain, while Champ Pain decided to fall back and take a break from rap. Every once in a while he would show up at an event or host a battle. The two would almost battle several times, but issues like money or ego would always get in the way. Maybe one day we will get part 2 of this mega match to provide some closure to the situation. Thank you for joining us on this journey, a journey that unraveled far beyond the battle itself. Remember, the scars left by words can be just as deep as those left by fists. Until next time, keep seeking understanding and empathy in all your interactions.